The stakes are high. Who will win this year's Battle of the Band? Lady Lily back with another video, and I bring to you the quad review episode 6, Go Tell It on the Mountain. So, GAMU Marching Band is getting ready for the annual Battle of the Band, and the show opens up. You see the drum major, the asshole. That's what I refer to him as, getting ready for practicing doing his solo routine to Usher's Good Kisser. Not saying that's going to be the song they end up using, because it wasn't, but it just showed him and his fellow drum majors practicing and envisioning themselves at the Battle of the Bands. It cuts over to Cecil, who's having a little get together and drinks and cocktails among some of his fellow band director friends. They're talking about getting ready for this year's competition. They also, put money up to see who band is going to win. The stakes are high as people are feeling that their band can beat actual Cecil Diamond's band this year. They're pretty much saying, you really don't need to win. Your band already got money. What more do you need? And Cecil saying, well, the scholarship money not only goes to the band, but some of it does go to the scholarship of the university. So anyway, it also cuts over to show Cecil working on an original piece of music he would like to use for the Battle of the Bands, and he gets inspired. We see that he is a musician. He has wrote pieces, and he has been inspired by his sister and some of his prior music, and he creates a piece that's called Sisters Blues. So he's working on drafting that up, because that is going to be the piece for the band to play at Battle of the Bands. Meanwhile, it shoots over to Eva. She has a meeting set up with her lawyer, and he is letting her know that her soon-to-be ex-husband is wanting $20,000 a month in spousal support. Of course, Eva is not feeling that, because she feels like he's going to remain in what she calls her dream home that her family's hard-earned money has purchased. And she just refused to give her husband another dime. Then she meets up with Coach. She comes to visit Eva to talk business. Apparently, there is a network that is willing to, that would like to meet with Eva and Coach to discuss a possible TV deal, which can lead to $10 million. At first, Eva was saying her schedule was busy, but once she found out it was $10 million, she said, I can move some things around, because apparently at first she was booked for the next 2 months. Then it shoots over to Eva starts the depositions, I guess I'm saying that right, of her divorce, and her husband's lawyer is pretty much asking her about did she have the affair with the young man, and she's admitting. Meanwhile, her lawyer is looking at her like, shut up, take that off the record. But her being the bitchy smart ass she is, she tends to admit to her sexual encounters. The sexual assault group, I guess that's the leader or whoever of the sexual assault group that's been shown these past few weeks in the episodes, have went to meet with Madison. They are wanting to know, the young lady is wanting to know where the hell is Sydney at, and Madison said she went out of town. She went, low key, until this thing blows over. Meanwhile, this sexual assault leader wants, Sydney come back, because, how can they fight the battle if she's not around? So Madison is just telling her, hey, you have to talk to Sydney. I can talk to her if you want to. That's pretty much her call. I can't make her do anything she doesn't want to do. Then later on in the show, Madison is approached by Terrence. Terrence is trying to convince Madison to go talk to Sydney to get all the charges dropped. He's pretty much saying that Sydney is a fraud. She consented to them having sex, and he just want to get this monkey off his back because it's not a good look for him, and it's just messing up his football career and just messing up his so-called good name he has had on campus for the past few years. Cecil ended up meeting with his sister to have lunch, and apparently she has forgotten she's busy. But he pretty much telling her he wants to invite her to the Battle of the Bands. He has wrote some music, pretty much that's a reflection of his and her life growing up, and she says she's gonna think about it. Bo John, now this is a serious segment in the show. Bo John's parents end up coming to visit him. Apparently, Bo John's dad has set up a meeting with the UGA coach to discuss Bo John transferring up today. He has set up a dinner. Meanwhile, Bo John's like, I thought it was breakfast. And he said, well, we changed the schedule. He wants to meet with you tonight for dinner. And apparently Bo John's mother is with the dad as well. So Bo John pretty much tell his dad, he has talked to, his current coach, like he's going to be starting next year. And, he's really not interested in meeting with this particular coaching program. So Bo John dad, him and Bo John get into a little tussle, so it's flashback. So he's trying to choke Bo John out, and then Bo John end up choking him out. And, the mom is saying, no, don't do it. Meanwhile, Junior and what's that girl named Taisha, they're in the room, and Bo John dad did accidentally earlier, but they said, no, we're not going anywhere. So it's a tussle back and forth between Bo John and his dad, and then the dad was like, end up punching him out. So Junior jumps in, and he swings towards Junior, but Junior catches his arm and says, not pretty much, you don't want to go there and not today. And then, Bo John dad, he hits, Bo John dad end up punching Bo John in the eye pretty much. And then, Junior comes back and say, you don't want me to not get unchristian like. So pretty much the dad said, go to hell. Go to hell, and you can stay at Color University, which I did not care for at all. Now he said he called it Color University. Man, Bo John Daddy is a straight up racist. Anyway, meanwhile, it shows Noni's the band leader of GAMU Marching Cats threatens Noni. They're got this new music they need to learn. And the band lead pretty much threatened Noni. He lets her know that, hey, I know what went down, at the president's house a few weeks ago when him and the football player Terrence got into it. And he found out that he knows Noni's behind that. So he pretty much going to tell her, after the Battle of the Band, I'm going to teach you how to humble yourself. So pretty much that was a threat. Meanwhile, later after the practice, it shows Noni is, practicing by herself, and she is approached by this guy who supposed to be a former alum. He also is one of the guys Cecil Diamond had drinks with in the beginning of the show. Apparently, he's the Southwest University band director, and he shows Noni a trick to how to improve her playing style. And then he tries to convince her to submit the music, the playlist, the music that the Mountain Marching Band is going to use for the competition. Noni said to hell with him, and then he gives her his card. She leaves the card there and walk off, and he said, what a woman of virtue. But earlier during that practice, you see Noni looking at the music But you see also that the band director's phone is also up there by the music. So, yeah. Anyway, moving right along. Eva, let me see here. Let me look at my notes real quick because I try to put them. Yeah. Okay. So Eva and her soon-to-be ex-husband are back and forth with their lawyers. Apparently, Eva's husband, his lawyer, they have researched that Jason, which is the six-pack, that they found out he's a student at GAMU, and they also noticed that he has a hefty stipend, maybe one of the more higher paid stipends compared to the regular graduate students. So they try to make it seem like Eva's really paying for this guy, and Eva is saying pretty much, no, that's a lie. And they're trying to see if they can even audit her records to see if she's, paying for him to be at the school, paying for his apartment and his, living expenses. But that's not really the case. So when it gets to the point where Eva's lawyer started to question her husband, she asked him, questions about, when did they fall in love? And it kind of catapulted into a prior relationship that he had prior to Eva. And he was so in love with this girl. I think apparently she got pregnant. I don't know. And pretty much, I don't know if she had the baby and the baby, her and the baby died, or did she have an abortion trying to kill the baby and they end up dying. But there's a loss somewhere. And then it's kind of revealed that Eva's like the rebound woman, the go-to chick. And if you looked at the last week's episode, it has showed her saying, you wanted me to, saying to her husband, you wanted me, when she flashback, you wanted me to pretty much have this baby that you desperately needed. So when we fast forward to this episode, it was almost like him revealing that Eva was really the rebound, a replacement, because he was trying to, relive or replace the girlfriend and the baby that he had lost in his prior relationship. So it also goes to Eva. Eva ends up sitting down. Her and the coach ends up, and mind you, it's tension there. And the coach also is acknowledging there is tension, and he wants to try to talk to Eva and see, could they work it out? So that is also a segment of all this. So Eva and the coach end up meeting with this network guy. He's pretty much asking Eva, like, what would you know about an HBCU homecoming? And he's just describing the atmosphere. And she said, well, I, never been to a HBCU homecoming, but I'm looking forward to it. And she's also asking her, how did she end up, pretty much going to the school she went to. And she said she pretty much had a free ride. So that means she was a smart cookie. And, not that same night, but the network guy comes back to meet with Eva and the coach. And he wants to offer them a deal. He wants to offer them that $10 million television deal. So, which is going to help GAMU, get some money in the books. So, but the catch is they really want to have the coach get rid of Terrence or have him step down or get rid of him. That's why I took of it, because they said, this will make out for a good scandal. So they really want to play up against the situation with Terrence to get ratings and to, get some buzz going with that particular network. So Eva and the coach are not quick to sign those papers. They told him pretty much they would think about it and they will get back to him. Finally, we're at the battle of the bands. So Cecil's sister ended up coming. I don't know if that's their father or that's the mom's boyfriend or whatever, but she was just saying, and Cecil's looking like, what the hell? And she said, if it's something about you and I in terms of the music he created, she said, well, he needs to be here to know what's going on. So So that's that. So meanwhile, they're showing another school performance, and they are what was the I forget what was that song they was doing it to. I forgot what song they was doing the performance, but it was kind of good. So anyway, they're showing, the different bands, and they get to the Southwest University band. Remember the guy that came to convince Noni to share the music? So they get out there, and all of a sudden, Caesar Diamond hear what? His original piece. So the band's up there. The band director's doing like this. He cool because he got some original works. They working it out. They getting it done. So Caesar is furious. He comes back and he said, "What the hell did you do?" So he's referring to the asshole drum major. He said, "I didn't do anything." So they get into it a little bit. So the drum major say, "Hey, I'm going to walk." The other drum majors are looking at him like, well, no. Like, no, I got to keep my scholarship going. I can't walk off, so you on your own, dude. So, of course, he looks at Noni. Noni looks at him and flipped him the bird, and he just snaps. He gets her saxophone, and he tries to break it, and he storms out. So, meanwhile, Caesar's like, so we're not going to let this defeat us, and we're going to play harder. We're going to step harder. We're going to give it all we got. We are warriors. Blah, blah, blah. Feel good. All that good talk. So meanwhile, one of the band members are saying, well, what the hell we going to play if, that band is, playing our work? And he said, we're going to play Before I Let Go. So I think that's the Frankie Beverly and Maze. So Caesar Diamond gets on the field and, does a little quote, little scripture before they get started, and then they take off. So all is going well. They getting it, got the steps, they got the band girls doing this, Caesar is doing his thing. They don't do like that, but then all of a sudden he just started feeling weird, getting crazy, and yeah. So anyway, he's doing this. Meanwhile, things start looking blurry, but he's trying to keep going. And then all of a sudden, he passes out and flips off the band director's platform, and that's how they end the episode. And blood is coming out his nose. He's on the field, and they just abruptly end the episode. So that is it. This was kind of mild compared to the other episodes. So yeah, it was just abrupt ending. So there's a lot of cliffhangers here. So we gotta see who leaked the music, because it didn't show Noni. She said no and she walked off, but then it was like that scene where she was looking at the, band director's phone, which was next to the sheet music. So that's one thing. Next thing, I guess, with Caesar Diamond falling out, then it's going to get revealed that he is sick with lung cancer. And then we got to see how this divorce plays out. So that is it. That's all. Stay tuned for more videos. To all the subscribers, thanks for stopping through. And for those who are not subscribers, you know what to do. Come on and subscribe. Hit that bell so you can get some alerts. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good evening. Peace.